Hi, besties, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Okay, besties, so I have an interesting topic that we've been talking about as people for a very long time. Like, I know when I was a kid, I talked about it. I'm pretty sure when you were a kid, you talked about it. Hell, even as an adult, I still talk about stuff like this. So I think it's really intriguing, and I want to tell you my stuff, and then you drop in the comments and you tell me your stuff. Okay, bestie? Cool. So, if you could choose any two superpowers, but you have to give yourself like a con to this superpower, and the con has to be effective enough for you to be able to rest your power and to not be able to use it uncontrollably, right? So if you could choose two superpowers, what would they be and why? And then we can talk about other stuff. I'm gonna give you some details on what mine is from when I was younger all the way up until as I've gotten older. Because when I was younger, excuse me, I was just thinking about some way to rob a bank. I'm just keep it real with you. I was thinking about a way to get some money. I wasn't worried about nothing else but getting some money. So when I was little, I would be like, oh, I want invisibility and mind control. You know what I'm saying? Invisibility and mind control is actually really cool. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never gave myself no stipulations, so I'm gonna give myself some stipulations now. So if I had invisibility and mind control, my invisibility powers will work for 6 hours under the conditions that I've eaten 2 times that day, and it has to be vegetables and fruit. It can't be no snacks. It can't be no candy. It can't be nothing unhealthy. Knowing me as a young child, I did not like anything healthy at all. Like, I liked water. I loved water. I loved certain fruits, but you couldn't pay me to eat no vegetables without my parents tricking me, with my dad tricking me into eating it. And you could not pay me to touch a salad. Like, I was like looking at a salad like, no. I didn't start eating a salad until I became a teenager. So yeah, that would have been my only stipulations for that. I would have had to eat something healthy for the day. And then for the mind control, I would have had to at least read like 2 books per year at least, because I was reading for school projects and stuff like that, but me just sitting down and reading a book by myself just to read was not happening. It was not happening. I wasn't touching no book. Well, Junie B. Jones was pretty chill. Cat in the Hat was pretty cool. When I was really, really small, like when I was like 5 and 6 years old, I would read Cat in the Hat, and when I got a little older, I read Junie B. Jones. But anything other than that, I wasn't touching it. And I love mystery books, and I love mystery and all that good stuff. I got Sherlock Holmes, I had Harry Potter, I've had all that stuff. I did not start really reading until I was in like the end of my middle school year, going towards high school, and that's when I really started becoming a bookworm. So I would have had to have those type of stipulations. And mind you, now from like 3rd grade, which is like 7, 8 years old, all the way up until like 5th grade, baby, I was just reading to survive. We did the book logs, baby. I was reading the book logs just to read the book logs to survive. I was not reading a full book. I was having chapter books. I read like 2 pages that I knew was full of little bitty words that I could write down and get my book log in and go on about my day, okay? So, and then when we had book reports, baby, I didn't read no book reports. I Googled it. I Googled everything. I Googled it all. YouTube helped me a little bit, but I Googled everything. It was YouTube came out, was developed in 2005, baby. I was in there book, who was reading? I was finessing the system. At least I was finessing myself, because now I love reading. But anywho, those would be my stipulations. Why? Because it would have put me in a position to have more knowledge, and it would have put me in a position to make sure that I was healthy and I had the durability to get the job done. Now, why did I want to rob banks? Because I didn't know no billionaires. I didn't know no millionaires that I could sneak in their house and get a mind control and make them write me a blank check. Because if I would have thought about that, that would have been so much easier. Now, when I got to like middle school, high school, mine was always teleportation and to fly. Now, right, you would think, oh, well then why would you not want to eat healthy for flying? I didn't give a fuck about eating healthy. My my thing was, had to have my hair done. I don't know. I was a teenager. Forgive me, okay? Forgive me. I need to have my hair done in order to fly, because I can't be out there flying looking crazy. And in order to teleport, I think this was really cool. In order to teleport anywhere, I would have to have seen it in a book or a picture or I'm gonna have to have knowledge of what it looks like and where it is in order for that to be a thing. Now, when I was growing up, I had this big map. It was like half the size of a wall. My grandma gave it to me. I really still wish I had that map. I don't have it anymore. But I just knew what the continents looked like. I knew what the states looked like. I knew where the countries were. I just knew the map, right? I didn't never see these places in real life. So imagine if I'm like, oh, I'm going to teleport here. In my brain, because I've never seen the city and I never seen what the structure of the area looks like. I've just seen what the map looks like, what the continent color looks like in the ocean. Baby, I was doomed, because I'm like, how am I finna go? I'm just gonna be sitting here. I'm doomed, because I ain't never seen these places. I've seen Dubai in a picture. I've seen certain like countries and continents. I've seen Puerto Rico. I've seen Africa. I've seen Madagascar. I've seen these places, but I've never seen a lot of the other places that I wanted to go to, like Bora Bora and Greece and stuff like that. I ain't never seen these things in pictures until I started looking it up. But I never seen these things in pictures. I never even seen them in books. And certain things that I did see in books, I've never seen the actual visual. I've always had the description, or I've always had like some type of understanding of like what it looks like based off of, hints and lists of what's on the island or what's on these places. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't start until social media became more prevalent in my life. I didn't really know what a lot of things look like, because I didn't care. I was outside playing with my friends. I was at the park, okay? Like I was having sleepovers and hanging out with the guys. Like I was, not having sleepover with the guys. I was having sleepovers with females, but I was hanging out with the guys outside at the park. Yeah. But anyway, I was doing that. So I didn't know what these places look like. So I'm like, girl, how was you going to get to these places? So there's only a few places in America and a couple of places outside of America where I knew for a fact that I was going to go and I could just teleport there. And I always wanted to fly, because I always wanted to feel free like a bird. Like a bird, how they just soar in the sky and they're all mesmerizing and looking all beautiful and all, just whimsical and stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. But then I used to think about like, how I'm going to breathe. Like, how am I going to breathe? Oh no. Because you have to have you have to be able to breathe. You have to have the lung capacity. You have to carry yourself. You have to make sure your wings are strong enough. You have to make sure that you're strong enough. And all I was freaking worried about was my hair being done. I was not gonna make it up in the sky. No butterfly in the sky for me, good God. No butterfly in the sky for me. But now as an adult, I would choose invisibility again. And I genuinely don't really know about my second power. I think the ability to read minds, because if I'm invisible, I could do a lot of things invisible. But I think my powers will only be able to last me a few hours. I would give myself 3 hours to be invisible. I'm not gonna lie, because if I could give myself 6 hours to be invisible a day, do you know how much stuff I can do in 6 hours a day? Baby, that's a work day for some, not for all. Some of us have 8, some of us have 12. Baby, 6 hours is a lot of hours as an adult to do things. Crazy. I think my stipulations for that would be every time I was invisible, I would have to be naked, because then people would be able to see my clothes. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do this, because I know I'm on a time limit and I got to get back home before my invisibility check out so I can get clothes on, or I'm going to jail for public indecency and I don't want to go to jail. Or I don't want to end up in the wrong side of town. I don't have no weapons or nothing to protect me, and I'm out here just naked bottom, and I don't have nothing, no weapons of destruction, not a gosh darn thing. And then I'm nosy, and sometimes I'm a little self-conscious. Like I think people are talking about me, or I think people are staring at me and judging me, or something like that. So because I want to be able to have that type of control, like, oh, let me read your mind. Honestly, I get lied to a lot too. Sometimes I'm a little naive and gullible. Not all the time, so don't get it twisted over here, baby, because I'm really smart and really intelligent, okay? Had to put that out there as a PCA. But I, as a person who goes through that and has anxiety and stuff like that, I used to want to I want to know what you're thinking. I'm tired of guessing. I don't want no subliminals, and I'm not really good at clues and hints. Like, I'm really, really not. Like, I'm smart and I can guess some good stuff for playing a game. But baby, if we're not playing a game and this is real life and you're talking to me and you're trying to get me to guess and have hints and please just be direct and blunt, because that's how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? So I've always wanted to know like what's going on in their mind. And I think my only stipulation would just be excuse me, I can only do it for up to 20 seconds. Because if I know too much, it's over with, it's done with, it's over with, besties. But tell me yours. Don't forget to drop it in the comments. Bye. Hi, bestie. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on all social medias. And come back tomorrow for another Midnight Modules. Bye.